Hello everyone, Alex the RC Freak here. This is my Traxxas TRX4. Just kind of showing you my current setup after all my new stuff I put on there. I want to kind of show everyone what it's going on, what's, the truck. I got the Proline Hyrax tires on Pitbull beadlocks. They're kind of cheaper beadlocks. I'm gonna do different ones eventually. I just like the rim style. I think that rim style looks great. These Proline Hyraxes, and no, I do not have the 2-stage foam. They work great. In my opinion, they don't have any foam breakdown like some people may say. Yeah, I've used them about 5 times now, and I did some like 3-hour rock crawls because I have like 6 batteries that'll fit in this thing. So I bring them all and charge them all. I know that's a little more than you need when you go crawling, because these things, the batteries last pretty long, at least from my personal experience. And I want to let everyone know I did crawl this without the front bumper, because it actually crawled, in my opinion, tremendously better with no front bumper. I know you're seeing, you're like, well, the front bumper's on it now. Yes, it is. I moved this front bumper. I got to looking at the mounts, kind of messing around with it and tinkering, and it looked like you could flop the mount, if that makes any sense. Like, let me take off this body for you. You can flop the mount. Now, basically you flip it over and you just cut that little notch right here. See this little notch right here? You just cut that out of the body there, and then this grill, you're gonna have to cut this grill right underneath the Land Rover. That bottom fin, right underneath where it says Land Rover, you're gonna have to cut that all the way across. I just used a really sharp X-Acto knife blade, and sorry about this, I'm doing this one-handed. But this mount right here, that mount right there, this is the mount I flipped over, and it raised the bumper out quite a bit. To me it looked like a 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more than that, but it really did. I mean, just look at that ground clearance, because the factory bumper sat right about down here. So that's about where it sat, is right there, and he'd always get caught up on stuff, so I raised it up, and it raised it up considerably, so it may actually crawl real good. Because I was originally going to pay $50 for a nice aluminum bumper, but then I was like, you know what, it's more cost effective to run it bumperless, and it actually crawl a lot better than my buddy's built Wraith. He has a competition built Wraith 2.2 crawler on tire size, and this thing kicked its ass on most of it. Now, I'm not saying on everything, on most of it. But I want to show you something else I'm running. As you're looking at it, I know you're looking at, whoa, green motor. What's going on there? I'm running a Castle 3800 kV censored Mamba X system. I love this setup. It has wheel speed if you want to just do nice quick trail run, kind of, have fun, go a little bit faster. And this thing crawls beautiful. I went to Castle Link after I calibrated the ESC. I went to Castle Link and programmed the drag brake. I do not have it on 100% crawler drag brake, because I can tell you right now, guaranteed, with this system, if you have 100% crawler drag brake, it will sit there whenever you let off the throttle, it'll like slam on the brakes and like do this like nose, dive, or if you go in reverse, it'll pop the front end up, and that's what I kind of kept having problems with. So I adjusted the drag brake custom to 23.5%, which I feel in this truck it's perfect, because you can be in high gear and let off the drag brake and it doesn't like flip over. And that's what happened to me when I had a 100% crawler. You'd be in high gear and you wouldn't even be going that fast. You just barely touch the throttle where it's kind of going quicker, and you let off the throttle and it'll just flip it over. So I got it at 23.5% drag brake, 100% forward, 100% punch control. I did try 50. It was just too much power. And I love this system. It does have lots of power. And I'll be honest, I'm normally not a censored guy. I have the same mindset as Castle Creations, that censored motors don't have the low end power that non-censored do. That's my personal opinion. Because I've driven a couple of my friends' race rigs that were electric that were full sensor Tekins, and I honestly I hated them. So I just didn't feel like it had any low end. It had top end, yeah, don't get me wrong. But this one, what I love about Castle is I love their products. They work beautifully. You know, you can beat the crap out of them, they still work awesome. This one's waterproof, 6S LiPo. I ran 3S LiPo in this truck only and not going to do anything more. And this truck's handling it fine. Stock drive lines, stock differential internals, stock transmission gears. Really works beautiful. I'm so amazed. This truck, in my opinion, is exactly the KV this truck needed to be really a true fun trail crawler rig. Because you can just trail run it, have fun. I've even jumped this thing off a couple rocks. I apologize I don't have a running video of any of my RCs. I don't usually have anyone go with me hardly, or you know, a lot of my buddies that do RCing, they work a lot too, so it's kind of hard to get them, you know, to go with me and we can make videos. But I'm going to try to make up some custom mounts so that way I can make a video when I'm driving my RC cars and I won't need anybody with me. But this truck's worked great. I love these Hyrax tires. I was kind of sketchy on them, you know, because it wasn't exactly the tread design I wanted, but they work awesome. And another thing I, you know, did on the body is I tried it in the middle of crawling. I took off that spare tire because I'll tell you right now, at least from my personal experience, and all I'm talking about is from my own experiences with this truck, that tire right there gave it a counterweight in the back almost. And whenever you try calling a pretty good sized steep rock, it would just flip right up back over. So I just took that off and it crawled so much better. How people say this thing's top heavy, in my opinion, I say that's a bunch of BS. Because, yeah, the body's heavier than most, just a normal Lexan body from like Proline or, you know, J Concepts, for example. But, you know, it's a really cool scale looking body. I love the fender flares. You know, it really goes up to driver skill, really. And I'm getting better at it. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I'm not going to say I'm an expert rock crawler in any sort of way. I'm just saying, with this censored system, in my opinion, from my personal experience, 10 times smoother than the stock system. And don't get me wrong, that stock system was pretty smooth in my opinion. On like for crawling, just low throttle input, very smooth. This system, it's like glass smooth. Like it's just perfect. Like I can't say enough good things about it. You know, really. I mean, I love it. It's awesome. It fits in there nice. The motor's a hair shorter than the stock motor. And get that out of your way, sorry about that. But yeah, the motor is just a hair shorter than the stock motor. It pops right in. I'm running a 12-tooth team associated hardened steel pinion gear, and it has the 5mm shaft on this. So, and it fits in there perfectly. It fits inside this gear cover right here, perfect. You know how on the, yeah, I'll have to take it off to show you. Oop, just dropped my wrench, sorry about that. But let me take this off to show you what I did, how I set this up. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm doing this one-handed, so please bear with me. I'm just taking off these 3 screws. There's a screw right there on the tranning. Taking that one off. There's one right here. Trying not to drop it. And another thing, for anyone that has one of these trucks, tighten up the slipper clutch and check it every single run. I always bring a 7mm wrench with me all the time when I like a toolkit, like a dynamite toolkit is what I got, and I bring a backpack and I stick it in there, you know, and that's what I do. I stick my batteries in there and, you know, wheel wrenches and stuff like that. So it's nice to have, you know, and I always check the square gear after every battery, even when I bring it home. So this is being taken off here. Okay, now see how I have this. Let me set this aside. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Alright. So, this is the motor. This is the motor plate. Now, in my own instructions that I got with this truck brand new, it does not have a gear chart. Like the Traxxas X-Max has a little gear chart for the stock motor on how to set the gear mesh. This does not have that. This has like little hole pins, so it's preset for you. And you got to kind of figure it out yourself, which I had to do. And I'm really apologize. I did not do a build video on this. I got kind of excited and jumped the gun and did it. But this is the gear. I put the gear, this part of the gear, towards the motor, the actual can of the motor. Stock form, this part right here is on the back side here. So, which I probably would work, but also think about when you do it like that, this little, on this gear cover here, see if I can balance this right. I don't know if I'll be able to. But on this gear cover, see that little notch back down in there? See that little notch? Right down in there? See if I can balance it. Okay, cool. This right here, the motor with the 5mm shaft and that 12-tooth pinion gear, on this pinion gear it's pretty thick. My hobby shop didn't have any of the other ones. On this part right here is pretty thick. It's almost the same size as this. So right here, it fits in there with just, I mean, it's like hair of room to, before it actually rubs, you know. So I stuck it like this. I have had no problems. It's worked beautifully. The slipper clutch on this has worked beautifully, and I've crawled the crap out of this thing. I'm not joking. So I really love this truck. I have nothing but good things to say about it. This stock system for me was a little too slow. I know you're like 3,800 kV in a rock crawler. It's not really meant for that high kV. You should be running like 1,900 kV or 2,800 kV, something like that. Me, I like a little bit more wheel speed in high gear, just my personal opinion. And yes, this thing will pop wheelies, you know. If you're on concrete, it'll pop wheelies like piece of cake. It'll pop wheelies in high gear. You gotta kind of make it work though. If you're on the trail, like a dirt trail or whatever, you know, out in the mountains, it will pop wheelies. It's kind of really hard to do it. It mainly just does it on a rock, on a flat rock. It'll do it. Better than that, it won't ever do it. So unless you're actually on concrete, so, which I don't drive it too much on concrete, hardly ever. But anyway, I'm ranting. But here is the motor setup I got, and this is what works for me on this pinion gear. I have it on F, just so you can see it. And please note the screw location. So on the other side, from directly across from F. So it's the third notch up on that side. But I just want to do a quick video showing you guys it is possible to make the TRX4 a little faster. And it's fast enough. I mean, this thing, I'm not joking. I haven't even, in high gear, it's, with this gearing, I'm probably not even exact on this, but it's probably hitting 37, almost 40 miles an hour. If you get on a flat enough ground to do it. I didn't get on it that hard, so that's just a rough guess. I was like almost full throttle, wasn't quite there. But it's pretty fast. I'll do my absolute best to get a running video of some of my RC cars. And get a running video of my X-Max. I have some grandparents that are sick, so I've been kind of taking care of them and helping them out the best I can. So I apologize I don't make videos right away. If you guys can forgive me for that. But yeah, I'll definitely keep the videos coming. You guys are definitely going to be getting more videos of my other RCs for sure. I love doing this hobby, and thank you guys for watching my videos. I appreciate it. You know, if anyone has any questions at any given time about anything, you know, if you're just new and you just want to kind of learn how to do work on RC cars, like let's just, for example, say you just got your very first one. Let's say you happen to get a really cool Traxxas TRX4, you know, and you just kind of want to get in the crawler side of it, you know, let me know. I mean, I've took this whole truck apart right out of the box, so I know everything about it. I checked all the transmission, I'm one of those people with my RC cars, my personal ones. I got tons of shims, specialty shims for RCing, and I got lots of them, and I shim everything. So I make sure I'll even do the best I can to make sure that there's like no slop, nothing. And you know, I did that with the training, I did that with the differentials. You know, I've never had a problem with my differentials. Sorry, I got a little tongue twisted there. They work glassy smooth. You know, it's a good truck. I might take this right here, this wire right here, cut it, solder those two wires together, so that way when you plug in the battery, the speed control will turn itself on You don't have to worry about a switch going bad or anything. I mean, it's a nice switch. It's worked every time for me. I've never had a problem. But it's a little, you know, it's one of those things that eventually it will give you a problem. You know what I mean? If you keep it like that. So, but yeah, that's my bumper. That's a good look of the bumper mount. See how it's reversed. I might do it to the back. The back, it raises up pretty good. And if you guys were wondering, this back mount right here, this plastic piece, will stick in the front, and it sticks higher, and it'll work. So if you had 2 bumper mount kits from Traxxas, you can get them on eBay for like $7 roughly, I think, US dollars. I think that's what I saw for. Don't quote me on that. But you could actually run 2 of these, one for the back, one for the front, and you could have your front bumper even higher, which in my opinion, I might be doing. So that's what I'm gonna, you know, be doing. Also, I'm gonna be getting a Proline F250 body for like a T-Max, Savage, Monster GT, and I'm gonna put it on here and make it work, because my 2 Monster GTs, they both have Ford bodies, and they fit on this truck awesome. And the fender flares, I'm gonna try to incorporate these fender flares right here into that Ford body when I get it. So I just haven't made up my mind exactly what Ford body. You know, in case if anyone's wondering, I do prefer Fords. I love Fords. I think they're great rigs, my opinion. But there's lots of other good rigs out there. I personally like Fords. So that's kind of what I'm doing. That's my new current setup with this thing. But thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it. And I just kind of wanted to share with everyone my current setup. Alright, thank you. Alex RC Freak out.